Hello everyone and welcome back to Untamed Chaos. So in today's episode I have a bunch of Thaumcraft stuff planned, ranging from the wand I was working towards to golems and to the Essentia ME system. So hopefully I have time to fit it all in. It's going to be a lot of stuff, so if I just go over here and down, we can get started. And I still have a whole bunch of levels just because I have nothing to put them into really. Like I could clone books, but I already cloned so many books I don't really see a need to keep cloning. And you know, enchanting books, I think I got most of them, but yeah. So the first thing you might notice is Arcane Bellows. I think this might make the vanilla furnace faster, I'm not sure. It does make the water boil quicker, which is why I put some here. And if we come over here to my node room, I put them around this because it makes the alchemic furnace smelt things faster. So probably should have made the bells a lot sooner. Actually, I think I should be able to pull up the recipe like that. So they're pretty easy to make, so I just decided to make them off camera. And the next thing is the node room over here. So I did add some more node devices here. I think I noted and grabbed the one over the Botania area a while back. But while trying to get more ordo and running around scanning nodes, oh god. Well, it's fitting I get a warp effect as soon as I start Thaumcraft stuff. But while I was trying to scan more nodes for ordo, I ran around and finished out the room. So it should help with wands, and here's the wand actually I was just using. It's already filled back up. So all these should be charged, and if I do run out of vis this episode, hopefully they'll recharge quick enough with all these nodes. So yeah, it works pretty well though with keeping things charged. And I also have this vis stone, or yeah, the amulet of vis storage that I never used. So anything out here? I don't think anything actually follows you when it says that. It just kind of says it to scare you. But yeah, and the other thing to note is I did go ahead and upgrade my amulet and ring to these versions. So actually recipe, so it was a pretty simple infusion. I decided it was better just to do this off camera, just so I didn't have to fart around with doing more infusions on camera, because I don't know, I feel like infusion's kind of losing its interest because I never fail infusions, because actually it's been a while since I showed it, so I probably should deal with that now. Is it here? I forget where I had to go. Come on, let me down. There we go. So yeah, I have all these crystal clusters in my basement here. It's probably killing the frame rate of the video, especially when I turn because of all the things, but yeah. So that is why my infusions are so stable. So I did a lot of that stuff off camera, or some of it anyway. I do have some infusions this episode, but let's open the chest and get into things. So the first thing I want to make in this episode is the Icorium wand. I started working on the previous episode by making the Icor, and off camera I prepared all the steps like I said, so now we can just make the wand. So as a quick recap, I needed Icorium caps, which were made like this with Icor, and charged Thaumium caps, which were made like that, which weren't too hard really. At least now that I have all the stuff, it wasn't too hard. And Icorium, which is made like that. So pretty much it just was very taxing on my wand. And I think, was that a craft or infusion? And I keep moving it around by mistake. So yeah, I needed a full wand pretty much, and another full wand. Then this was an infusion that I had to prepare for, but needed Icor cloth, which required another full wand. So that's why I did that off camera. And if I put it in here, it's also going to be pretty taxing. So if I put it in there, yeah, I did swap over to my Thaumcraft stuff. So now I have the Icorium wand, which is the best wand in the game. It can hold 1,000 vis. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here so it starts charging. And yeah, I might as well just put that there so it starts charging once that's done, or they're both going to charge at once. But this is probably going to drain all my nodes, but hopefully not run out of this episode. I can charge up that wand, but yeah, it's just such an insanely powerful wand. Takes a long time to make, but really good. So hopefully it will prove to be worth it later on. And hopefully this isn't already being drained by runic shielding or something. That'd be annoying because I didn't need it for crafting. So yeah. The next thing I need is, well, one, to grab my Thaumonomicon. And yeah, if I open it, hopefully it starts at the center or first page. So I think it was Artifice. There we go. The Infernal Furnace. So this is forbidden knowledge, but hopefully it's not too bad. It gets powered by Ignis, and it's a very fast furnace. I think the bellows also do power it, or I saw something about that. So I wanted to try making it, and I have all the stuff here, as well as some spare bellows. So yeah, I kind of decided this corner of the room would be good to like add the villager on this side, so I put the furnace right here. So I don't know, I never made one of these. Hopefully it's not dangerous and like destroys my Thaumcraft area or something. That's always a concern of mine with Thaumcraft. I don't know, I kind of thought infusions would be more dangerous, but now they're kind of stable. But I don't know, forbidden magic still kind of, or the taboo stuff, forbidden knowledge kind of still worries me. So let me just start building this. Okay, so I'm nearly finished. I just need to put the lava there and the bars there, and I guess I'll just click it. There we go, an infernal furnace. So I do need to get to the top, and Huh, what's this? I said it outputted. I just wasn't sure if it output on the front or the side. Hopefully it still works okay. So my idea for getting up there was ladders, because you need to put things in on the top. So, yeah. And I also guess sturdy ladders would work better, and, you know, because they're also not wooden. This is a molded fire furnace thing. So let's just grab a stack of iron ore just to kind of test it out. So I'll put the ladder right there. And, okay, so one, I don't want to fall in there. But if I just throw the iron ore... Huh. I don't know how this works. Oops. Maybe it's my magnetism messing it up. That could be it. So let's just drop half a stack of iron ore in there. Oh! So I think it said it needed Ignis. And I do have some spare Ignis jars. So, drink up. I don't know how this works, but it does shoot out there. And maybe this is where I'd put the bellow. Because the bellow does connect. If I put it there, it still connects, but I don't know. If you guys know how this works, let me know down in the comments. And oh, yeah, the cool thing about this is give it a chance to give nuggets as well. So, I don't know. I feel like if I just do this, it's not going to be adding anything to it. Oh, you can stack bellows, can't you? Kind of like Buildcraft engines, I think it is. But I don't know. The bellows are kind of cool. But, yeah, maybe I should just put a dropper there. Or maybe the Ignis is supposed to go on the side. Or hopper, not a dropper. I don't know. It's the easiest way I know to kind of collect items. So that should just drop it in there for me. But, yeah, I guess that's a furnace. I don't know. Like I said, I never really done that before. And just thought it'd be something cool to make. But, it also can have instability things. And I think the bellows reduces the instability or something like that. So, I don't know. Hopefully that's not going to cause any issues in its current state, though. And getting the items keep thrown at me will get annoying. I think I might just take off the ring for the moment. But, yeah. So I have half a stack of iron ore in there, and hopefully that's working well. I'm worried about the Ignis, though. It's not like being piped in or I have to pipe in the side. But I think the Ignis makes it faster. Actually, let me just read that real quick. It's essentially free. It's very slow unless you get a new supply of Ignis Essentia. This can be done by methods you discover. Fluxes gates into the environment. Need drop in top and spit out the front. And then it also said about the bellows working with the furnace, I think. It says normal furnace. I think somewhere in there it says it. I don't know. I don't really want to read through it all now. And I kind of want to move on to the next thing, which is actually the Talisman of Nourishment, which is an infusion. So let me get that prepared. I think the infusion is all ready to go, but before I do that, I would like to kind of review what the Talisman of Nourishment is. So this was something I had in my notes, and it's from Thaumcraft Exploration, I think, it's a mod. So pretty much it seems to be like an item that will just feed you, but you have to charge it with food. I don't know, like it says, it holds how many food points in saturation and will just feed you, apparently. Yeah, I haven't really played around with it much, but it should be a fairly easy infusion, so let's just make it and test it out. So pretty much instead of having like potatoes, I just would charge this with potatoes and it would feed me, so I don't have to worry about eating, which is a nice convenient. Also kind of reduces the need of the healing axe a bit too, I suppose, if it like auto feeds me just by holding in my inventory. But I don't know, it's a cool item and it was in my notes, so I just kind of threw it into the episode last minute because I had all the stuff to make it. I think I had to get more of that, but it was easy enough to make. So yeah. Actually, while that's going, how about I go over here and check on stuff? So, okay, that apparently is done. And it has not true Ignis. I think I might need to pipe it in. Possibly the other sides have similar openings. That looks like it's still just draining the vis. If we come in here, this is nearly charged, halfway charged. So, yeah, it's really taxing my nodes. I bet half of these are, like, empty in most of the important aspects. Yep. So, hopefully I don't run out of wand recharges this episode. But let's head back over here. Oh, it seems to be grabbing the items. I kind of wish infusions were more unstable. Just because it seems so easy. There we go. So, I think, oh, it's actually just eating my potatoes automatically. Cool. So, I'll just, I guess, let that do its thing. And does it eat out of the hotbar or just inventory? I think it's just hotbar. Like, I put these there, it should start counting down. Unless it has a limit on how much it can hold. Maybe it has a limit. I don't know, but, if I do put these in the golden bag, This should keep me fed, and let's see, it's at 96 and 17. I'm not sure if it was at that before I put the food in, but I don't know. I guess I'll just keep this on me, and it doesn't seem to do anything, so I guess it just kind of works automatically. So, I don't know, that'll be a cool thing to look more into. I'll play around with it more off camera probably too, so yeah. So we went over the Arcane Bellows, the Infernal First, we made the new wand, and we made the talisman, so now it's time to go into Golems. So I believe Golems are actually a lot simpler than I thought they would be. Like, I was expecting something really complex, but I think I just need to throw this stuff in, and then a Thaumium block. So I got a Thaumium Golem. That simple. So because I had all the research unlocked for getting iCore, I could kind of go right for the endgame Golem, and Thaumium seems to be the best. It's slow, but it has a very high carry limit, it's very strong, and it gets, I think, a good amount of upgrades compared to other ones that only get like one. So yeah, I didn't get like all the stuff prepared for Golems. There's these accessories you can, I think this increases sleight or something. I don't know. And then there's these upgrades. I think Wood was the one that suggested because it allows them to see further for their tasks. But from what I understand, the default range is 16, which should work for this room and what I want it to do. So, yeah, the next thing, though, is I need to infuse the Golem with this stuff in the infusion altar, of course. So, let me just get that set up. Okay, so I think I got that all set up correctly. Let me just review, but this is advanced golems, and you kind of just infuse them to make them better. They move faster, they have a greater radius, and they get more upgrades, so it's a pretty simple infusion. Doesn't even require a lot of aspects, so let's just start it, and I can review some of the other stuff in the process. So when I put the golem down, I actually spawned the golem in the world, how to use this golem bell to pick it up by left-clicking, but I think this is how you, like, bind golems to things, and it was a pretty simple thing to make, and, oops. I guess I shouldn't be clicking like that. And I also made the golem core off camera just because, I don't know, I didn't want to do a whole bunch of crafting and infusion if I could just quickly summarize what it was. And I want to save the actual golem and playing around with it on camera though. But the golem bell is pretty simple. You just make it like that. And the animation core is slightly less simple, but this is how you make the basic one. So I made that and then I decided just to finish it. But I need to make a decanting one like this in the crucible. Also pretty easy. And then I need to make an alchemy one like this, which was also pretty easy, but pretty basic infusion anyway. So now we have the Thaumium Golem Advanced. So it doesn't have any of the upgrades because I didn't prepare any of them. But I should be able to put it in here and hopefully it works as I'm thinking. I don't know, the room might not be designed, like it might not be able to reach the higher ones or even reach those. But if I put it here and I give it that. Okay. So we have our little golem. And I think I linked him to that. So now the thing is, if I, what's an aspect I can do real quick? Let's just say some vacuous. And let's just move vacuous down so he can be sure to reach it. So he should pull it from the alchemic furnace and all attached to alembics. Make sure all the valves are closed so that's not an issue. Okay. So if I put this in here. Vacuous is going, so the golem, if I bound it right, should just kind of pick it up when it's done, I assume. And put it in the jar. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be automated. I might not bound it right. But let's just give it some time. And actually, let's just check the jar. It has 12. So it should get another 16 in total, so... I don't know. Actually, let me just pick him up. That's how I pick them up, just left click. So, one mark location. So I put them down like this. I don't know, he's attached to it. I'm just not sure if I attached it right. Like, if I just, I don't know. If I also click, here, does that finish it? Oh, so that's how you pick them up and remove its upgrades, so... I think that also resets mark locations, so... I don't know, maybe if I click that and then click him... That creates a proper link, and then that... It's supposed to work for Crucible and Alembic. Like, if I click one, it attaches all of them. I don't know, I'll have to play around more of this off camera. But it could be I just don't know how to get it working, but it should be fairly straightforward. At least I figured it was. So actually, give me a second just to read over to make sure I'm not missing something obvious. So after quickly reviewing the book, it seems like I was doing it right, but I think range might be an issue. So I moved the jar closer, and now if I just right click, that's its home location. I mark it to that as well, and mark it to that. How did I click back there? Ah, there we go. Oh no. It's just not wanting to work for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, I have it set to, like, if I do that... If I just say alembic, it should start pulling stuff out of the alembic, or the furnace and all attached alembics. So there is vacuous there, and there's a vacuous jar. So is your range really that bad that I need to put it, like, right in front of you? I don't know. I'll have to play around more with this guy off camera to see if I can automate him or what his deal is. Maybe look into some more guides about it. But I was trying to find just like a summary, and I couldn't find much online. So maybe it's something about how I have my setup that's throwing him off even. But he should have like a 16 block range, and I couldn't make those water upgrades to give 50% more, I think. So hopefully I can find out how it works. If not, it really wasn't that big of a deal to me anyway. Like, it would be cool if I could kind of automate this a bit better with golems. But if not, it's still a pretty good system or how I have it in the valves. So I'll just leave this guy here, and maybe he'll decide to do it. I don't know what else I can do to kind of prompt him, or... Oops. I didn't mean to hit you. Sorry. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how else to do it besides this, the golem bell. So... we'll have to wait and see, I guess, and I'll look more into it. But I think that's about it for this part of the episode. Now or for golems anyway. Now I have Essentia ME system stuff, which is going to get a bit more complex. Okay, so the Essentia ME system. From what I understand, it pretty much works the same as a normal ME system. So if we go in here, it has pretty much drives that store the Essentia, just like normal. It has a terminal that you can use to add and remove Essentia. And it has a terminal you can use to craft, just like the arcane work table here. Has buses I can use to import and export. Like if I hook it up to a jar, I could probably export out Essentia or pull it into the network if I wanted. So possibly I could just take a whole bunch of export buses and hook up to like all these jars and just say extract in, and it just pulls it right out into the ME system. So that could happen. Or I could just use the terminal just to throw the jars in, and I think it empties them and puts it in. And on top of that, it has this cool thing called an infusion provider, which is the infusion I have set up. And pretty much I can just hook this up to the ME system, and it will pull aspects from it when I do infusions or such. So I have that set up over there, but before I get into that, I would like to make the drives. So I did prepare a bit of this off camera. This is how you make the housing using water glass, which is made like that. And I did also make some of the basic cells just so I could get that out of the way. So that's how you make the basic cells for this. It's very similar to the normal ones, but instead of redstone, you have some ethereal essence, which I did have to farm some more of. Thankfully, I do have that eldritch biome in the Mistcraft world, which was very helpful for this. If I didn't have that, this would be a huge pain, because you only can get this from wisps, eldritch guardians, and destroying nodes. So yeah, they're kind of hard to get. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember the recipe off the top of my head. I think it's like this. So if I take these and I split them into 3 stacks and go like that, and I think it was like that, and quartz glass here, and was it ethereal? Or not ethereal, was it Salus? I forget actually. Let me check real quick. I feel like I might have even forgot a step, or forgot a part. Yeah, it's Salus. I thought that came in the later step for some reason. Wait, does it? I don't know. Now I'm really second guessing myself because I don't have a lot of Salus. And let's see. 2. No, it's just full ethereal for this one. Whew. For a second I thought I needed more Salus and was worried. So yeah. Because this stuff is not too hard to make, but it's not that fun either. So if I do this, I'll have a whole bunch. Now I just go like that. And this time is the Salus and ethereal, along with engineering processors to make this 16K. So just like I have my normal Essentia, or my normal ME system with 16K, I'm having Essentia ME system with 16K. They only hold 12 Essentia each though instead of a stack, so I might need to make more of these. Or I probably will actually. So the next thing I have is, I'm not even sure if I need the arcane work table for this, but yep, a cell workbench for Essentia. It's the same as the normal one where I can like put a drive in and partition it saying only these aspects. I don't think I really need it right now though. And the last 2 things are the terminals. So, I don't know, this might be shapeless, come to think of it. So, yeah, I forget how I had it set up now, darn. It was something like this, though. There we go. Yeah, I think I left the other one in there. Yeah, that was for the other one. So, now if I put my wand back in, we can make the Essentia terminal. And if I go like, was it like this? I can make the Arcane Crafting terminal. So, I actually only set up one of these, forgetting I needed two. So, whoops. Actually, if I just break this, I knew it would break that behind it, which is why I wanted to get the wrench, but I didn't want to pull it out. So, I don't really need this one, because I have another one over there. So, let's just put the Essentia one here, and the Arcane one there, and it should work fine. Hopefully I have enough channels to do this properly. And now I have to head up to the ME floor real quick. Probably should swap over into this and attach the drives up there. I think I'm also going to take this up here because it's kind of connected to the drives. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I'm just going to throw the drives in here and it should work fine. I'll leave the cell workbench here for now. I might move it later, perhaps next to this one somehow or something. But the drives should be active now, and I could put another like the terminal for Essentia stuff here, just to kind of go with it. That was kind of my plan, 2 crafting and 1 for the other ones. Could even move one of those over as well. I don't know, but it made sense to have it near the Essentia instead of having to run upstairs every time I wanted to put Essentia into the system, unless I got like export buses or something. But it should be ready to go now. So if I go down here, it should be active, and this should be... Oh, this does act like a normal terminal. And yeah, I remember, you could even put your armor in there. I don't really want to do it now, but like, I put my wand here, and put my armor here, and I get the VIS discount. Oh, I could even swap current armor. That's really cool. So then I could just craft just like I could in here. And it takes the armor bonus into account and everything. So if I wanted to, I could just put, I don't know, let's just actually get this out and put it in there just to see how it works. Yeah, it does not auto-go. That was my bad. Let me just search, Sang, I think would be. There we go. So if I put this in here, it does acknowledge the VIS discount and lets me craft right through here for anything Thaumcraft related. So now I have another... maybe I should move this around a bit. I don't know. I guess I really don't need this either, because I'm pretty sure this does the same thing. Probably will leave it there just to be safe, though. But yeah, now let's test out the Essentia ME system. So I do have a bunch of spare jars, so let's just take a Terra for the moment. And if I do this, it should put the jar in there, empty it. So now I have 64 Terra in my ME system. And actually, can I can't seem to craft like I could, like just auto-craft combining. Because, you know, if I took like, I don't know, if I went in here and took Terra and Spiritus, I could combine them. So apparently I can't do that in here. But, I don't know, it does seem really cool. I might even move this terminal over here or something. Just so I can like have a one in here on the wall, just to throw it all in. But, I don't know, it seems like a good way to kind of use all these jars up. Let's take a whole bunch of herba, a lot of the ones I have spares of anyway. And let's just see what happens if I try and throw them all in. It should just add them all in, but, yeah, unfortunately I have to take the jar out, it seems. But, I don't know, it seems like a much better way to deal with all these jars, like all the overflow. And it should make it a lot easier to infuse as well. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure, how do I get it back out? I think I actually have, or what would happen is if I take this, hold on, where's the Terra jar? There we go. Okay, so that's how I take it back out. I just have to select the aspect and put it in, and it will take it out. Now, if it's selected and I do that, okay, so it still does empty. It just seemed a little weird at first. But, yeah, this should make it a lot easier to store and manage Essentia. Like, I don't have to go around looking through all my jars. Oh, how much Essentia do I have for this infusion? I can just open this and search the Essentia even, so I know how much I have. So, yeah, I can see this replacing jars easily enough. And, that reminds me of the other thing. Oh, I left my wand in here. It'll open here. There we go. I put it in the ME system, didn't I? Yep. That might get annoying. And I do have the, interface thing. What's it called? Infusion provider all set up here. So hopefully that works. It is a pretty moderate infusion. That's what it is. Not that hard. And oh, I forgot to note the mirrors for it. So I better do that in here. These are Essentia mirrors that are just made like this. It wasn't that hard, so I prepared them off camera. Just because I'm tired of doing a whole bunch of smaller infusions in episodes, because, like I said, infusions, they never fail anymore due to all those crystals I have, so it just feels kind of redundant to keep putting them in episodes. But, yeah, I think that's everything I want to do this episode, too. So, off camera, I probably will hook up the ME system for fluids a bit, or not ME system for fluids, ME system for Essentia a bit better, and also this. Okay, so it has been using the saturation, and if I pull this out, pull out the potatoes, will it eat more of them? Yeah, I think it's not going to replenish saturation because it already hit its limit for food. So maybe I can find a food that just gives saturation. It would work better to, like, recharge its saturation. Because I'm assuming what happens is it ate the potato and got the food points, but it can't eat more potatoes, get up its saturation because it can't go past the food points or something like that. I don't know. I'll play around with it more off camera like I said I would. And once again, throw all those jars in there. And might as well throw that in there as well. So, oh no, this infusion is taking a while. It had a lot of aspects to drain. I actually had to get it's this one, the gear one. Yeah, it doesn't say because it doesn't have any aspect, but the machine or whatever it was for the first time too, so I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with how this episode went. Thaumcraft tends to give me a lot of headaches over trying to figure stuff out, but, yeah, we actually got a lot done this episode. We made the Infernal Furnace. We made the Aquarium Wand, which hopefully is almost done charging. It's going to take ages for that to charge. And we also made the Golem, which I still don't have working, and the Essentia ME system, which, to be honest, kind of replaces the Golem already. But yeah, if I set this up, let's say, here, and then, oh, it has different colors and such too. Cool. But if I set it up here and just, like, ran an ME cable under it, it will just pull the Essentia out of the network whenever I need it for infusion. So I don't have to fuss around by putting the right jars, just make sure it's in here and it should work. So if I ever have to do any more infusions or such, this should make it a lot easier. To be honest, I kind of wish I did this before I did all these Thaumcraft episodes, because at this point, there's only one Thaumcraft episode left planned, and I don't think I need to do any more infusions, which is kind of unfortunate, but I probably still will get all my jars into the system off camera and, you know, kind of just finalize that a bit more. Probably get a terminal in here, maybe even set up an export bus or something. There is still a limit on how many connections I have on the smart cable for Thaumcraft, and already I'm using 3 of them. So I have to be careful with that, but I should be able to manage. Anyway, I think that's really all I had to do this episode. I'll just throw this in here. And, yeah, that drained a bit, but well, these are kind of all drained because of the Aquarium Wand, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with how this episode went. We got to make a whole bunch of really cool stuff and try out stuff and kind of wrap up Thaumcraft more or less. Still one episode left, but we wrapped up a lot of it. So let's actually head to the goal list and mark stuff off. Actually, I think I am going to mark up the Essentia ME system because I do have that kind of set up. I just need to kind of tweak it a bit, like actually hook this or the infusion provider up and move around the terminals, but more or less it's set up and it's working. I might need to also make some more drives. I didn't consider that because I might run out of space quick. So I do have the Essentia ME system set up, and we go over to Thaumcraft. I made the Aquarium one and the Golem, so that's all the Thaumcraft goals, besides the one which is over there, the Outer Lands. So, yeah, that will be next time, though. But, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Thaumcraft stuff with Golems, ME system, and this fancy new wand. And until next time, goodbye.